So today I wanted to talk about paradox because I was thinking, just wanted to talk about some healing paradoxes to get us out of all or none thinking and to get us out of that white knuckle hanging on to something with fervent belief. So paradox is a way that helps that. So one paradox is that when a lot of people get cancer, it started 25 years ago. And it's almost like the part of the body that has cancer took the hit energetically. So you're under a lot of emotional stress or physical stress. And it was too much for you to handle, really, so you somaticized it into one body part. And so the paradox is that, and this is not, it happens every time, it's just this is a common thing that happens. And so the paradox is that on one hand, you took the hit and something is brewing in you that will develop into cancer in 25 years. On the other hand, you got through the day, you got through that. So if you kind of look at it as a lemniscate, a sideways figure eight, it's not, was it good or bad or right or wrong? The healing happens right in the middle where right in the middle where it, how do I do this? Right in the middle where it crosses, yeah. And you can just sort of straddle those two places of, okay, I was under a lot of stress and now that stress is gone, but now I've got cancer. And appreciate, I don't know, just the way your body's given you time to wait until you're mature enough or things have settled down enough so that you can heal that big bad thing that happened a long time ago. Hi, Melinda. Hi, let's see. Well, see if I can scroll. I cannot scroll. Sorry. I just see Melinda and Greg. Okay, hi. I've got a lot of names, so I know a lot of people are at least interested. Okay, another paradox. I was thinking, as I was walking, as you can see, I'm up here in the forest, in the Uinta Mountains in Utah, my soul home. I'm about 2 miles from where my father grew up, and my grandfather was in charge of the reservoirs, bringing the water supply to the desert down below. It rains about 2 inches in Utah in the cities, and it rains about 30 or 40. In the mountains, we get 30 or 40 inches of precipitation. So I know I would come here as a child. So anyway, so the paradox is here I am in my soul home, and I can practically pinch myself. I'm so happy that I pulled this off to get so that I can get internet, that I can, get a place to live in the mountains, that I can have a companion that can travel with me. It just feels so wonderful. And the paradox is that I'm camping, it's a little uncomfortable in times. So there's that lemniscate. So is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? Is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? It's right in the middle. You straddle both of them, and that's where the power is. Okay? So now let's talk about another paradox with Bengston's rapid image cycling method. You carefully think of all the things that you want with this method, or at least 20 things that you want, and you visualize them, and you program them deeply into your mind. And then you memorize the images, and then you spin them. So they're there, but they're not there, because you can't see the images anymore, and yet they're there. This is a paradox, and this is one of the reasons I think that the Bengston Method works so well, because it engineers a paradox that you can just turn on. You don't have to wait for big life events and wisdom and maturity, you just do it. And right in the middle while you're standing there cycling, being aware of all your needs, but kind of unaware at the same time, it cracks open the matrix and lets information come through. I really feel like paradox is the portal to freedom, because it doesn't fit, right? Paradox means things don't quite, they're not good, they're not bad, they're like both. They're not, and good and bad is just one duality. You know, there's a million dualities. Like in cycling, you're thinking, you're having the things that you deeply care about, and yet you're in the here and now with them in the background. You're there and you're not there. Okay? So, when we do, let's see, what's another paradox? I do automatic writing, and I get some wisdom from that. And yesterday I was asking how I can continue my healing process, because I still need more sleep than usual and all that. And what I got was to include the pine trees and to not separate my healing from their healing, because the pine trees are infested with this beetle, and they're not giving off a scent the way they did when I was a youngster. Used to come up here and it smelled like pine, and now I can sniff as hard as I can on a pine. I can't smell the oil. So what I did on my little walk is I was aware that my healing and the tree's healing could be linked, and we could help each other. Kind of like how we include animals in this group. Good old Muffin Top, who's here every week, I'm assuming is a cat or a dog. Anyway, so there's these paradoxes of what we're dealing with. So as I was walking along, I was cycling, and I was being aware of the astral shadows that were sort of on top of the forest that the beetles were feeding off of. And so I was just cycling in the presence of that. And as I did, I felt stronger and stronger and stronger, and I probably overexerted because I went too far. I really felt so good. It was really wonderful to work with the trees, and I felt like the trees were doing this reciprocal action. So I don't know if that's a paradox or a spreading out of intention, maybe a bit of both. So it was about the trees, but it was about me. And some people might say, well, that's just service, and service feels good. And there might be a piece of that too. But anyway. All right, so how can we manufacture paradox in this healing circle that we're going to do in the next few minutes? One thing is to not get too hung up on following the directions precisely, which is sort of a paradox, right? Because you're here to follow the guided directions so that you'll get healed. But you have to kind of detach from that and say, okay, but that might be something different. It might be that all I need to do is listen. It might be something else. So you don't want to get too locked into one side of this, okay, this is how it works, because that's like a thing from your ego. And if you can put your ego in the contradictions that you face and let the magic happen in between them, it's a technique to surrender and let go, let God, allow the information matrix to open and give you the healing that you need. There's that. Let's see, what's another way? If you can think of another way to put paradox in, you can, putting in. Anybody else, is it cutting out for? Dorothy says it's cutting out. I don't know what to do if it is, so. I thought I had really, my Starlink works better than my house internet in general, so it might be you. Okay, so what's another paradox that we can be aware of? Is that when so we're going to do a little, if you're new to this, I'm going to guide you to an inner sanctuary. We're going to stand around a pond, and I'm going to put the names of the people and pets who want healing on the pond, and then we're all going to stand there. And a big paradox, a very powerful paradox, is that you're doing nothing. While you're standing there around the pond, you're not trying to heal anything. You're just trying to spin and watch. And it's paradoxical because we all spent like quite a bit of effort to come here today, right? And it's because we want something. We want to give or receive healing. And so it's sort of paradoxical to just stand there and do nothing. But it's in that nothingness, like nothing and, okay, we're going to heal really hard. It's in that the, okay, we're going to heal is there because you showed up. It's in the form. It's manufactured in the form. And your intention to just witness and do nothing, it seems like counterintuitive. Like, wouldn't I want to focus really hard and make sure light and love is beaming in on the Heelys? And I promise you, I used to do that a lot, and I was able to heal up to a certain level, but I couldn't do anything with cancer. And with cancer, another level of surrender, and this is how you do it, okay? So the form, you show up, yeah, of course you want the healing, but also you want to just witness the healing that you're not doing, because do you really know how to heal cancer? I don't, and yet I'm witness it all the time. But do I know how to make those cells do the little apoptosis thing? No, I really don't. So it happens in the middle, right? In the middle. All right. So that's a thing to think about, and you can actually ponder this thought all day long, because whenever you're doing anything, you're not doing something else. We're really in this place of duality, and duality sort of creates a system that locks us into place. And if we're trying to do a spiritual healing or a distance healing or supplement whatever the doctor's recommending and whatever nutrition and lifestyle things we're doing with some of this energy stuff, it's not formed the same way the physical is. It's what gives the information to the physical to form. But if your spiritual or your thinking is locked in, how can anything different or new, even if it's a nice thought, really fundamentally shift? How can the information from the highest sources come in? Because I guarantee you your ego is not information from the highest sources. Okay? All right, let's begin. All right. So Greg says it's also interrupting. That's too bad. I hope the recording works. Okay, so now, if you're watching this on YouTube, thank you for being here. If you're watching this on Facebook, please like and everybody, please like and subscribe to my channel. It really helps me a lot. Eventually, I might get some money from YouTube for this. You know, it's been 10 years, and I haven't. You know, that's not my main purpose. My main purpose is to heal, but you know, I'm realizing, I might actually be able to monetize this thing on YouTube, not just help people. So that would help me help you. Let's see, the other ways you can, so this is going to be a free distance healing if you're here listening to me on, okay, wait a minute. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can join us on the Spirit Gate Cancer Support Facebook group. And it's also absolutely free. I just wanted to create a little bit of a boundary, a little bit of effort that you had to do, other than the algorithms of YouTube, to find it. You actually have to find Spirit Gate Cancer Support Facebook group. You have to apply, and we let in everybody, I think. And then, you know, there's this little place, and it does take a tiny bit of effort to do that. And that, to me, is part of this spiritual exchange. You know, you're not just, there's a little bit of an exchange which works in duality. Okay, so now if you're, goodbye YouTubers.